হ্যালো শিক্ষার্থী বন্ধুরা, আশা করি তোমরা অনেক অনেক ভালো আছো। তোমাদের অনেক অনুরোধের কারণে আমাদের আজকের ভিডিওটির বিষয় হলো শর্ট কোশ্চেন্স অফ ভিক্টোরিয়ান পিরিয়ড, অর্থাৎ ভিক্টোরিয়ান পিরিয়ড থেকে কিছু সিলেক্টেড শর্ট প্রশ্ন যেগুলো পরীক্ষাতে এবার আসার জন্য বিশেষভাবে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। তো চলো তাহলে আমরা ভিডিওটি শুরু করি। সাবলাইম লার্নিং প্রেজেন্টস সাম সিলেক্টেড শর্ট কোশ্চেন্স অ্যান্ড আনসার্স. Help and motivates us by subscribing our channel and sharing our videos. Let's start. Short questions of Victorian period. Question number 1. Why are 1832 and 1859 important? Answer. In 1832, the Reform Act was passed, heralding extension of democratic rights in England. In 1859, Charles Dickens' On the Origin of Species was published, heralding a new scientific era. Number 2. What is the longest poem of Tennyson? In Memoriam, 1850, the year of Wordsworth's death, is the longest poem of Tennyson. What is the date of its publication? 1850. Number 3. Name the poem of Tennyson that handles the theme of the new woman. Mention the date of its publication. Answer. The Princess. Publication date 1847. Number 4. Name Tennyson's poem which attempts a great theme that Milton abandoned. How was the poem published? Idols, the Idols of the King, in 1859, 1869 and 1889. Tennyson is issued a series of Idols of the King. Name some plays written by Lord Tennyson. Tennyson's plays are three historical plays: Queen Mary, Harold and Becket. The Falcon is a comedy based on story of Boccaccio. The Calf is based on a story from Plutarch. Number 6. Name the first poem of Browning and mention its date of publication. What was the next work? Pauline, 1833. Next work was a play, Strafford. Name some plays of Browning's. Pippa Passes, A Blot of the Scotchian, Assault's Tragedy. Number 8. Who was the wife of Robert Browning? In which poem she expressed her love for her husband? Mention any two of her other poems. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. She expressed her ardent love for her husband in her sonnets from the Portuguese. Other poems: Orally, The Cry of the Children, a musical instrument. Question number 9. Who was Christiana Rossetti's brother? To which movement they were linked? Mention the greatest work of the brother and the principal works of the sister. প্রথম প্রশ্নটা হবে, ডিজি রসেটি was Christiana Rossetti's brother. To which movement they were linked? The pre-Raphaelite movement. They were linked to pre-Raphaelite movement. Mention the greatest work of the brother. D.G. Rossetti's greatest work was the poem The Blessed Damozel. C.G. Rossetti's poem includes Goblin Market and other poems. The Princess Progress. Number 10. Who wrote Atlanta in Clydon? Mention the date of its publication. What type of works is it? Swinburne in 1865. The Orc is an attempt at an English version of ancient Greek tragedy. Who wrote Sketches by Boz? What is Boz? What is the writer's next work? Charles Dickens wrote Sketches by Boz. What is Boz? Boz is a pen name of Dickens. What is the writer's next work? Dickens' next work is the Pickwick Papers. Question number 12. Who wrote the Book of Snobs? What is his chief work? William Makepeace Thackeray. His chief work is the novel Vanity Fair. Name the three sisters who wrote novels in the Victorian period. Name their chief works. Carol Bronte, Emily Bronte and Anne Bronte. Carol Bronte's famous works হচ্ছে Jane Eyre, Shirley Villetti, Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights, Annie Bronte, Agnes Grey, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. What is the real name of George Eliot? Mary Ann Evans wrote under the pen name of George Eliot. What did she write? Her novels includes Adam Bede, The Mill on the Floss, Silas Marner's Middlemarch, Daniel Deronda. Mention chief novel of George Meredith, The Ordeal of Richard Feverell, Evan Harrington, Adventures of Harry Richmond. Mention two historical novels of Victorian age, Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities and George Eliot's Romola. Name two novels of Anthony Trollope, The Orden, The Barchester Towers. Who wrote The Woman in White? What are his other works? Wilkie Collins. His other works include The Dead Secret, No Name. The Moonstone is one of the earliest and best of the detective stories which are now published in modern age. Question number 9. Who wrote Satur Researchers? What is the meaning of the title? Thomas Carlyle wrote Satur Researchers. Its mean the tailor untailored, which deals with clothes philosophy. Language is the clothing thought, body is the clothing of the soul, the entire universe is the living garment of God. Question number 20. In which year was Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood formed? Name four members of this group. 1848. It was movement of painters D.G. Rossetti, Holman Hunt, John Millais and Burns Jones were members of this group. What is known as Pre-Raphaelitism in poetry? Pre-Raphaelitism in art means purity and simplicity that characterized the art before Raphael. In poetry, it means simplicity, sensuousness, and mysticism, as exemplified in Rossetti's poem The Blessed Damozel. Name the literary movement of which Oscar Wilde was a representative. Give the title of an Oscar Wilde's play. Oscar Wilde was a representative of the literary movement called the Decadent Movement. One of his popular plays is Importance of Being Honest. Question number 23. What was the title of D.G. Rossetti's journal? How long did it continue? In 1850, Rossetti and some of his colleagues initiated a little periodical, The Germs, as a medium of the promulgation of their doctrines and vehicle for their poems, but it died after 4 numbers. Who wrote In Memoriam? For on what occasion was it written? In Memoriam was written by Alfred Tennyson, the Victorian poet. It was written on the occasion of the death of his friend Arthur Henry Hallam. Mention the titles of 2 dramatic monologues by Robert Browning. My Last Duchess and Two in the Roman Compagna. Two in the Roman Compagna are the 2 dramatic monologues of Browning. Number 26. Who is the author of the Scholar Gypsy? Mention the title of the another poem by the same poet. The Scholar Gypsy was written by Matthew Arnold, the Victorian poem. His other poem is Dover Beach. Who wrote Sonnets from the Portuguese? Name another book of the poems by the same author. Elizabeth Barrett Browning in 1847. Other poems orally written in blank verse, The Cry of the Children. Question number 28. Who translated the poem of the Omar Khayyam in 1859? What is the title of the book translation? Edward Fitzgerald. Name of the translation? Rubaiyat. Historical and literary events. 1833-তে হয়েছিল অক্সফোর্ড মুভমেন্ট। এই ছিল আমাদের আজকের নিবেদন। আমরা এর পরের ভিডিওতে ভিক্টোরিয়ান এজ থেকে গত 10 বছর ধরে যে সমস্ত প্রশ্নগুলো কোলেন ইউনিভার্সিটিতে এসেছে সে সমস্ত ইয়ারলি প্রশ্নগুলো নিয়ে থাকছে আমাদের পরবর্তী ভিক্টোরিয়ান এজ থেকে শর্ট কোশ্চেন। এই ভিডিওটি তোমরা ঠিক এই ভিডিওর পরের দিনই আপলোড করা হবে। সুতরাং আমাদের চ্যানেলের সঙ্গে থাকো। ধন্যবাদ।